Well, good evening, everybody. I hope you all are having a terrific Sunday. I know I am. I've had a really good Sunday today. Uh, this morning I went to church, and then this evening we had a dinner at the church where my wife attends. It's a Methodist church, and they had a lot of food. One good thing about church folks, they're gonna have some food now. I'm going to tell you that right now. ACG Anime fan, good to see you on here tonight. I hope you're doing well. How's the weather where you're at? The weather here has gotten a little bit cooler. Good evening, Dash. How are you tonight? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you on here. Representing Dallas. Hope everything is going well there in Dallas. One thing I want to say about my friend Dash, if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, go to his channel and check him out. He's got a really good channel. He is growing and getting close to 100 subscribers, so I'm really happy for him. But the main thing that I'm really excited for him about is that he is a new dad. He recently had he and his fiance brought a beautiful baby girl into the world, and so he is just shining with joy and happiness. So wish you the most happiness and the best life for this new young baby that you have brought into the world. So congratulations. Badlands Bandit, good evening. How are you tonight? Good to see you on here. Well, tonight I really didn't pick a topic. If you noticed on my live stream that I set up, I just said I was doing a live stream. I didn't really say exactly what the live stream was going to be about. So what I want to do is I've got a couple of things that I can talk about, but I also want you guys to come up with some stuff if you're interested in, if you have any questions or if you want to talk about anything, if you have any interests that you want to talk about, then I encourage you to get on here and ask your questions or say whatever you want to say. So the weather has been good for you there, and I don't know where you're at, CG Anime fan. I want to say you're in Pennsylvania, but I'm not sure. I did a review of your channel. I recommended that people go to your channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. CG, I just went over 2,100 subscribers, so my channel is still growing, and I'm really excited about that. I'm still able to make a little bit of money on YouTube as well. I'm getting a check every month for, let's see, this. I've gotten 2 months worth of checks, and this will be my third month of getting a check from YouTube as a content creator. So, so I'm very encouraged by that and the continued growth of my channel. And I don't know if I mentioned it just a minute ago, but Dash is really close to having 100 subscribers. So if you're not yet subscribed to Dash's channel, go to his channel. I'll put a link in the description below once I get off of here. But go to his channel and subscribe to his channel. I want to get him up to 100 subscribers. And then from there on, he's going to just keep going up and up. So Badlands Bandits, so you're doing well. That's great. And yes, I am doing great. I wanted to start off the conversation tonight. It's just going to be kind of an open mic night, so to speak. We're just going to be, talking about things that are affecting us, and what's going on around us in the current season. So currently, it being November and December, this is one of my favorite times of the year. Christmas time and Thanksgiving. Why is that? Well, there's two reasons why this is the best and my favorite time of the year. One of those reasons is I get to be around people that I care about, family members, friends, and we get to share time together and spend time, just spending time together. I love to spend time together. Dash says, thank you. She's doing very well, and we can't get enough of her. Would you mind putting her name up there, Dash? I don't know if I have her name. If you would just post her name for us. And CG Anime Fan says, congratulations on your progress. I'm getting close to having 1,000 subscribers. That is great, CG. So you'll be monetized soon before you know it. And Marty Baker has joined us, and she is my brother's soon-to-be stepdaughter. So good to see you on here, Marty Baker. Good to see you. Dash says, what's your biggest flip of the year so far? A question for everyone. Okay, that's a good question, Dash. And I can share my biggest flip of the year so far. My biggest flip of the year, and we're talking about eBay, because I sell on eBay, and I don't really sell on any other platforms other than eBay. And so my biggest flip of the year so far has been the World War II uniform that I sold recently. I paid $35 for it, and it sold for $285. So that was a really good flip. I was really pleased with that. I picked that up when I was in Florida at my aunt's. I was visiting with my aunt, and she lives in Orlando, or Kissimmee. She actually lives in Kissimmee. But we went to a town called Webster, and we went shopping at a flea market there, and that's where I picked up that vintage World War II uniform. It was an officer's uniform, and I picked it up for $35 and sold it for $280. So that was my biggest flip. Dash says her name is Amaris. Amaris, okay, like the stone. Her name means chosen by God in Greek. Okay, I like that name. And so, is that her? Does she have a middle name, or is that the only name that you gave her? Just curious. So, November, December, my favorite time of the year for the ability that we have to spend around family and friends, but also, my goodness, the food is it not the best in the world? The food at Thanksgiving and Christmas. We went to a family gathering yesterday, and the name of the town is Opp, Alabama. It's in the southern part of the state of Alabama, and I have my mother's passed away. She passed away back in 1999, but one of her first cousins, lives there in Opp, and they invited me and my wife to go and partake in a Thanksgiving meal with their family this year. And they still have a couple of the, brother and sisters that were my mom's first cousins that are still living, and their families, and they all gather every year there in Opp, Alabama. And so we had a huge meal. It was amazing. The food. Let me see if I can pull up some of the pictures. My wife, Carol, took some pictures when we were at the gathering, and she's real good about taking pictures. I'm not always the best about taking pictures, but she is always good about taking pictures when we go to different events or family gatherings. But let me see if I can find those pictures that she took yesterday and share that with you. But we had such good food yesterday, and there was plenty of it. There was a turkey and some dressing and all the fixings that go with it. We had the cranberry sauce and all the normal things that you would get at Thanksgiving, like the green bean casserole, the squash casserole. All the casseroles were there at the event. They had to be there, and they were all very good too, by the way. And I left there pretty stuffed. Oh, by the way, another thing I like about this time of year is that we are wrapping up football season, and we also have other sports. Did you guys watch the Mike Tyson fight, by the way, with Jake Paul, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That was, as my friend from Rat Stash, Todd, says, was kind of anticlimactic. But I tell you, the real fight that what got the that I really enjoyed watching that night was the Serrano fight. And by the way, she got totally robbed of that fight. I think that she won that fight, and I think that they gave it to the other person just because she was the current, she was the champion at the time. She certainly didn't win that fight, as far as I could tell. Anyway, that's an opinion. I am very interested in hearing your opinions about that fight, and I am having trouble finding those pictures that my wife took. I may not find them for you, but I'm going to try. Unless they got taken down. So, CG says, in his opinion, Christmas is the best holiday, followed by Easter. Yeah, I agree. Christmas is a really good holiday. I enjoy it very much. Amaris Don Cole. It was either Dash Jr. if it was going to be a boy, or Amaris if it was going to be a girl. He said he's also looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner. Well, I tell you what, I really stuffed myself yesterday, and then again tonight when we had the get together at my wife's church. She goes to a Methodist church, and those Methodists, boy, they can cook, especially here in the South. They make the best food that I ever put in my mouth. So tonight I had some ham, and I had some turkey, and I had some dressing, and so I kind of did a redo of yesterday, except it was a whole new group of people. So I think we're going to be doing a whole lot of eating between now and Christmas, and tomorrow it's going to be even more because I took a plate home. And I can't find those pictures. I am so sorry, guys, but just trust me that there was a lot of really good food. So CJ Anime Fan says he Spidey Librarian. Spidey Librarian. Good to see you on here. I don't think I've seen you before. Good to see you. If you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, I would like to know more about you. Thinks Halloween is the best holiday. Oh, must have come over from CG. And CJ says that Spidey Librarian. Hi, Spidey. I feel happy and grateful to see you here. Well, I'm glad that you came over, Spidey. Congrats to Dash and the family. Yes, absolutely. Saw your review of this channel and came by to check it out. CG Anime Fan. I'm going to have to watch that review, CG. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to check that out. And if you guys haven't seen Brent Mania's channel yet, go to his channel. He put up a video. I haven't checked to see if he put up a second video, but I know he has at least one video up. So Brent Mania hasn't joined us tonight, but if he gets on tonight, y'all be sure and let him know that he did a good thing by putting up his first video. I really enjoyed watching that. Retire Inspired is great, charming channel, so it's good that you came by. Thanks at Badlands Bandit. It's holiday season at Retire Inspired. 'Tis the season for lots of eating. That is so true. I've got to go see my doctor this week too, so it's going to be interesting. What my blood tests come out, because I'm diabetic and I'm not supposed to be eating a lot of the stuff that I'm eating. So I'm just having to back off from the table just a little bit every now and then. But it's so hard during this time of year, isn't it? So Spidey is a YouTuber who does gaming live streams, watch along commentary streams, and currently working on making reaction videos from them. That's cool, Spidey. Good to. I'm gonna have to go check your channel out. I'm not much for watching the gaming live streams, but I would definitely support your channel since you've come over and supported mine. I appreciate that. My doctor hates my holiday dietary habits. Yeah, I'm just can't wait for the fun times when I get to go see my doctor and I get the tongue thrashing. So, how many of you watched the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? Did you have any? For the ones of you who did watch it, did you have any comments that you would like to provide about that? Let's see. I think my cousin Christina may have posted some pictures. Here's one of the pictures she put up. See if I can get this. This is the whole group. We got together yesterday, as I was saying, and we had a lot of food, a whole lot of food. And my camera is not really picking that up too well. That camera is kind of a cheapo camera. It's not a real great camera. But here, this is my cousin Christina. She's the one that invited us. That's me and the wife. Spidey, you can probably tell in here that I am at least over 50 years old. I'm actually 56. I retired in January of this year, and I've just been kind of, enjoying life. That's all you can do when you're retired. It's a good thing. Retirement is a wonderful thing. And if you're not planning for retirement, then I suggest that you take the necessary steps to plan so that you can retire at an early enough age that you can still enjoy it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm 56 years old, Spidey. You must be much younger than me. CG says, I think the age difference between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson feels very surprising. Generally, I think that boxers should be around the same age. Yeah, I think this was just a money thing. I think this fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was just all about the money. I don't think anybody expected Mike Tyson to beat Jake Paul, but I thought it was really pretty cool that Mike Tyson is still, wanting to fight somebody at 58 years old. I mean, he's almost 60 years old. He was the heavyweight champion of the world when Jake Paul was only, a baby. So he I think it took a lot of guts for him to get up there and take on a 20-something-year-old young man in the ring. Retire Inspire, have you played any video games? You might consider trying one or two if you have the time. I think they're lots of fun and very relaxing. Actually, Spidey, I sell video game consoles in my eBay store, and I'll put a link to my eBay store in the description below after I get off of here, so you can come back later and go to my description and click on my link and go to my eBay store. But I have a lot of retro consoles in my store, and some of even more current consoles. I've got the most current consoles I have are like a PlayStation 4. That wouldn't be considered a retro console, but I think it's not one of the newest. I know PlayStation 5 is out now, and they even have another one out that they've come out with since then that is also a PlayStation 5, but it's called something else. I can't remember what it's called. Spidey, I actually retired at 55, and I turned 56 the month after I retired. So, yeah, I did retire probably a lot earlier than a lot of other people do, but I was in a position where I could do it, so I decided to go ahead and do it, and that's what I'm doing. I set myself up with a pension with a state employment. I worked for the state of Alabama as a social worker, and I was the state director for the Adult Protective Services program in Alabama at the time that I retired. Give it a few more years and you can call the PS4 retro. Well, what I was saying, Spidey, is I have PlayStation 1s, I have PlayStation 2s, I have PlayStation 3s, I have the PlayStation 3 Slim, I have the PlayStation 3 Fat, I have the Nintendo Entertainment Systems, I have the Super Nintendo Entertainment Systems, I have the Xbox, the original Xbox that came out in 2002, and I have the Xbox One, and I have Xbox 360s. I have the Xbox 360 Slims, and I also have the regular Xbox 360s, the ones that had the problems with the overheating. And I buy a lot of my consoles off of eBay for parts or repairs, and I repair them. And that's part of my channel is I show my repair job, the jobs that I'm doing, the work that I'm doing with repairing these, with these video game consoles. I show that on my channel as some of my content. So I do have a lot of connection to video games and video game consoles. I've got a whole box of video games that you would probably love to get. Let me see if I can bring my camera around here and show you that entire box is full of video games. Let me open it up and let you see. Can't see it too well. See if I can raise the camera just a little bit. See, that's full of video games. That's not DVDs, that's video games. And then on top of that, I've got another box of PlayStation 3 games. These are all PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360 in this box here. And you can see that I've got a console over here that I'm testing that I have apart. That's a 360. That's an Xbox. No, that's a Xbox 360. Same model as this one right here. That's an Xbox 360. So I have gotten started playing some video games. There's one that I really like on Xbox. I mean, on the PlayStation 4 called Uncharted. I don't know if you're familiar with that game or not. Get my camera back straight, but Uncharted. I've started playing that, and I've gotten into the game. I really enjoy playing that game. I think I have it over here on the PlayStation 4. I've also got the VR. Sorry, I went off camera for just a second, but I wanted to show you some of the controllers I have. That's a PlayStation 4 controller. That's a PlayStation 3 controller. Another PlayStation 3 controller. Another PlayStation 3 controller. But I've got a whole box full of controllers. Pink controllers, camouflage controllers. I've got so many controllers and all kinds of game stuff. But yeah, I have started playing video games in having to test these consoles, and there's a couple of video games that I really like. I like the Mortal Kombat that you can play on the Xbox 360. I really like that one. So, how many others have played that Mortal Kombat that I'm talking about? Spidey says, that's awesome. I'm glad you have the ability to do that. CG Anime Fan says, I don't play games, but I enjoy talking to friends during the gameplay streams. Spidey says, well, that's a lot. Yep, that is a lot. That's not even half of the games I've got. I've got another box down on the floor that I didn't even show you. And then in the other room, I have 4 shelves of game consoles and games. I've got the Nintendo Wii's. I've got about 5 or 6 bundles of the Nintendo Wii's that I need to put together and list on my eBay store. They're working. So I really enjoy repairing video game consoles. That's something that I like to do. It kind of takes away a little bit of the time away from my eBay listing, but I think it's worth it in my opinion. Spidey says, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Okay, see you in a minute. And Dash says he recommends House of the Dead, Mario Maker, Splatoon, and of course Smash Brothers. What about Smash Brothers Melee? Dash, do you like that one? You ever play that game, Smash Brothers Melee? I've learned a lot about which video games are valuable through watching other YouTubers. There's one YouTuber that I watch on a pretty regular basis, and he's really built an amazing business out of video games and selling video games and video game consoles. And if you've never watched his channel, or if you have watched his channel, let me know. It's called Chase After the Right Price, and the guy's name is Chase. And he kind of took his name and made it an acronym. They call it the Caterpie Crew, CATRP. The Caterpie Crew, that stands for Chase After the Right Price. He's actually got 2 YouTube channels that are really successful, and he does Whatnot, sells on Whatnot. So he is really killing it, and he's a very young guy and doing amazing with the selling. And he also does Amazon. I haven't ventured off into Amazon, but at some point in the future, maybe I will consider trying to do that. Okay. And Dash says Melee was the first game he had on the GameCube. Okay. I really get excited when I find a very valuable game at a yard sale or something like that. And I don't know what it's worth when I'm at the yard sale. I just pick it up. But the most recent couple of weeks, I picked up a bunch of video games, a lot of GameCube games, and I know GameCube has a lot of value. So I picked up a lot of these GameCube games at one particular yard sale, and found out some of those games were really valuable and rare. And so it looks like I'll be turning about $200 in purchases into about $2,000. So that's not a bad turnaround as far as I'm concerned. So what have you guys, what is your biggest flip of the year? Dash, you asked me what mine was. Well, what was yours? So looking forward into the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, what does it look like? Well, I'm going to continue to sell on eBay. I don't have any plans to expand my business at this point. I'm just going to kind of maintain what I've got currently and continue to work on what I've got. I don't want to get too many irons in the fire. I mentioned a minute ago about the possibility of doing Amazon. I'm not sure I'm ready to jump into Amazon yet, because I feel like that's going to take a lot of time and attention, and may not be something that I want to do right now. but I'm certainly going to look at it and see, how could it benefit me, and if there is some point in the future that I might want to do it. So I'll be looking at that. I have those rental houses, and I had one that I did a video on earlier in the year where I had to do an eviction, and I haven't rented it yet. I'm being very, very selective about who I rent to, because I just don't want to put somebody in there that's going to destroy the house, or someone that's not going to pay their rent and then have to boot them out. I don't want to have to do that. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I've got enough furniture and I've got enough wall decorations that I could furnish the whole house and put all the wall decorations up that it needs and turn it into an Airbnb. That house has never been an Airbnb. I closed 2 Airbnbs that I had before, and I kind of regret closing one of them, because that was a productive Airbnb, and I kept guests in it on a regular basis. And then the person that I put in there for the long-term tenant, after I took all the furniture out and turned it into a long-term rental, turned out to be a terrible tenant and destroyed my house. So Dash says he got a TV on the curve for free and sold it for $350, and a stereo he paid $18 for, sold for $500 in the same week. That is amazing. That's what I love about flipping on eBay. And I also watched your video the other day, Dash, where you were talking about finding that dollhouse on the side of the curb and turning that into about $125. That's an amazing deal there. If you ever want to sell on eBay, I would encourage you to just start it. It can't you can't lose if you have something, unless you go out and spend a whole bunch of money on stuff and you don't really know what it's valued at, and you don't know how to check it out before you buy it to see if it'll sell. That would be the only thing I would caution you about if you're going to sell on eBay, is make sure that you're knowledgeable enough about it to know how to buy, and then how to list and how to sell, and you need to know what kind of equipment you need. But once you do get to that point, that you have that knowledge, and you don't have to wait to get started, just get started. You can go around around your neighborhood or other neighborhoods, and a lot of times people will put stuff beside the curb. I know Dash, this is not the first time that I have known him to flip stuff off of someone's curb. He is a serial flipper. When I was there in January of this year, I went to Dallas, Texas, and I visited with Dash. We were driving down the road, and there was a Dyson vacuum cleaner on the side of the road, and I pulled over. I said, "Hey, Dash, grab that vacuum cleaner." So he picked it up and put it in the van, and when we got it back to the house, he listed it. I think he had it sold within a week, and I think he made about $200 on it. So there's so much money that people just put out on the curb. Free money. I mean, it's like somebody took $100 bill and just laid it right there and said, "Hey, go get it." Dash says he found a Dyson vacuum cleaner today, but passed because they were asking way too much. Okay. I've sold a Dyson vacuum cleaner myself. Those are really good vacuum cleaners, and they sell for top dollar on eBay. Serial flipper. Yep, he is a serial flipper. But Dash is one of these guys who doesn't stop. He keeps going, and I admire that about him. He continues to push forward, and he continues to eke out a living out of eBay. Now that he's got his vehicle back running, he has a little bit more mobility, and that's good. I don't know how you did it, Dash, when you didn't have a vehicle. I would have a real hard time getting to the post office and taking my items once I sell them to be delivered to the post office or to the UPS store or FedEx. But you have somehow managed to continue on, and I'm really proud of you for doing that. Good job. So, anybody else on the chat that sells or resells or is considering reselling? If so, tell us what your flip is. I know CG Anime Fan does not, and Spidey, I'm assuming it does not resell. I know Badlands Bandit. I think you told me at one time that you had an eBay store that you sold on, but I may be mistaken about that. Are you still on with us? CG says he's a collector rather than a reseller. Okay. Well, I tell you what, CG, it is the one thing about being a reseller and buying stuff for next to nothing is you tend to find stuff that you like too. And in my case, that has kind of been a little bit of a downfall because I have got stuff that I didn't really necessarily need, but I just liked it, so I decided to keep it. And so it, if you've seen the TV show Hoarders, right? Well, this house that I have, sometimes it gets a little bit full. It's a little bit full right now. I don't think I have to go yard selling for a while, but I'm an addict, so I'm going to be going yard selling. That's just something that I do. Spidey says I'm sorry, Spidey, are you a lady or a man? I think you're a lady based on the picture on your emoji. But Spidey says they are a librarian. And Dash asks, where is Rat's stash tonight? Rat's stash told me earlier that they could not make it. They had a death in the family, and so they were not able to make it tonight. They went to a viewing. So y'all please keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts. But yeah, they I can see the appeal. Garrick, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. Yes, I have all the Deep Space Nine DVDs, and I don't hold on to them. Okay, Spidey is a man. Okay, all right. Sometimes you never know, So I just want to make sure I'm on the safe side and don't call you a lady if you're a guy, and I don't call you a guy if you're a lady. So, but either way, it's good to have you on here. Looks like I sold something while we were on the live stream tonight. I sold a Home Alone VHS. I had both of the Home Alone videos. Let me ask you this. Is this a Christmas movie? I think it is. So I had both of the Home Alone movies, the Home Alone and the Home Alone 2. And so someone bought those, and they got them at a really good price too. I sold them both for $16.65. I'll sell VHSs every now and then, but VHSs aren't the big deal. So Spotty says that he thinks that Home Alone is a Christmas movie. I agree. CG Anime Fan says he thinks that Home Alone is a Christmas film. Okay. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was my rental houses. I have 2 vacant rental houses currently, and I have 1 rental house that has not been renovated yet. I bought it. If you look back about a year and a half ago, there's a video. I think it's titled "Expanding the Kingdom," And I bought this house that was across the street from my house. And most of the properties that I own are in my neighborhood. I have 6 houses on my street, and then I have a couple 2 streets over, and then the other 2 are pretty close also. So everything I have, all the I knew Die Hard was going to come up. Now, Die Hard, is that a Christmas movie or not? Either Die Hard or National Lampoon's Vacation. So, Spidey says, here's a question. What film do you have to watch before it feels like the holidays are finally upon you? How about The Grinch Who Stole Christmas? The animated one, not the Jim Carrey version. Looks like CJ and I were on the same wavelength at that time. Batman Returns and Grinch, Jim Carrey version. Okay, he's got the Jim Carrey version, but I said the cartoon version, not the Jim Carrey. Those are his 2 favorites for Christmas. So, yeah, I'm going to be making some videos of the renovation of the one house that needs renovation. So that's going to be some content for future reference if you're interested. If you like watching those shows where they repair houses or fix houses, I'll be making a couple of videos, probably more than a couple, on the renovation that I'm going to be doing on that house. So that's coming up. Dash says if Die Hard is, so is Batman Returns, and the kids drive me crazy watching Christmas Vacation, so I hear it in my sleep. There is an animated version with Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the Grinch too. So I'll be making some videos, some content on my house and renovation that I'll be doing. This renovation is overdue, well overdue. I've had this house for 2 years now, and I've barely touched the surface of what it needs. I have put up some walls and put in some ceiling that had issues. I've also replaced all the water pipes. Here in Alabama, our water lines are run through the ceiling. They don't run through the basement like in the northern towns. So ours run through the ceiling. So when we had the hard freeze about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, I think I want to say it was January or February of last year, we had a very hard freeze, and I ended up having some water pipes in that house bust. So I had to replace all the old cast iron pipes that were in the ceiling and replace that with PEX. So I've replaced all that, and this year I had a new roof put on that house, but I need to get in there and just go through the whole house and do all the renovations that need to be done. So that'll be some of the content that I'll be coming out with here in the future. Also, I'll be having some more travel videos coming out. Next week, this past week I had a travel video for when I was up in Pennsylvania, when I was up there with Renee and Todd with Rat Stash. So I put that out last week. I was up in Amish country. I got to video some Amish folks and took a few pictures of them and got to see them working in the fields. Also got to see some of the Amish kids in the schoolyard playing, but I didn't videotape any of that because I just didn't think it would be appropriate to put on to YouTube. So I didn't put any of that on YouTube, or I didn't videotape that. I will be doing some more travel here in a couple months. And January is the annual Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. It is January 16th. January 11th through January 16th is the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous in Quartzsite, Arizona. So I plan on going to Arizona in January and spending a week in Quartzsite and staying in my van. I'd set it up as a camper. I've got a bed in there, and I've got now I've got a container that holds 20 gallons of water. I've got a refrigerator. I've got a solar generator. So I've got pretty much everything I need in my Mercedes Sprinter camper van that I use, and I really like staying in it when I'm traveling. It also saves me a lot of money from having to get hotel rooms and that sort of thing. So Spidey says he's pretty sure YouTube will require you to state you have permission to film minors if they appear in your videos. I don't know anything about that, but I like to respect people's privacy, and I'm not going to put other people's kids on YouTube unless they just happen to be in the background of my video and it's unavoidable. I think I have had children on my videos before, but not that they weren't the content. They weren't the subject of my video. They just were in the background. So I don't know if there's any issues with that, but that's about the only time children will appear on my videos. But next week, I want you guys to hit that notification bell if you're already a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, be sure and subscribe. But hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I put my video out next week. Next week's video is going to be in Chicago. After I left Pennsylvania, I went to Chicago, and I spent some time with my son Justin, who just happened to come in. This is him right here, Annex Iptaru, and I think that might be I don't know, is that a Russian name or something? Anyway, welcome Justin to my live stream. It's good to see you on here. And so Justin is my son. He lives in Chicago, and I spent 3 days in Chicago visiting with him and his wife. Spidey says, just subscribed. I enjoy the vibe of your streams. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But anyway, Justin, since you just joined me, the Chicago video will be coming out probably on Wednesday of this week. And in that video, we take the L. It's called the L. Stands for elevated train. They have an elevated train instead of a subway in Chicago, if you're familiar with it. And we take the L into Chicago. We go downtown, and we look at some of the sites there in downtown Chicago. We run into a street performer, and I danced with the street performer. And we saw the Bean. It's a big, huge metal sculpture in Millennium Park. And then there was another thing, Justin, you may be able to tell us the name of it, but it's that other one where the people are on video screens spitting water at each other. If you could put that on there. So Justin took me down there, and we spent the day walking downtown Chicago. Saw Trump Tower. We didn't go inside Trump Tower, but I saw Trump Tower. We went down to there's a river down in downtown Chicago. You can go down there and walk on the river. It's really beautiful down there. I was really impressed with how clean the city was and how nice it was. Really a nice city. For a big city, it was nice. It was clean. Most of the people we ran into were nice. There was one person, or actually two people that we ran into that just happened to get in the periphery of my camera, and they thought that they were going to be the stars of my show, and we had a little bit of a run-in with them. Spidey says he used to live in Chicago. Great town. Justin says, nice. He looks forward to seeing what I edited out. But anyway, we go downtown, and we go to the one of the famous, I can't remember the name of it, but it'll be in my video. One of the more famous restaurants where you can get a Chicago dog, and we went down there and got a Chicago dog. we also had some famous Chicago deep pan pizza, which was the most delicious pizza that I've ever had. And there's one place that's close to where my son lives that we had their deep pan. But the first deep pan pizza we had was at close to Northwestern University, where my daughter-in-law goes to college. And so we had the deep pan pizza there, and it was really good. And my opinion was that was actually the better pizza than the second pizza that I had. But I think my son Justin likes the other one better, or at least he likes that restaurant better. Spidey says, in the novel series, The Dresden Files, the Bean is the site of a major battle. In fact, I think it's referred to as the Battle of the Bean. Okay. Yeah, that restaurant is Portillo's. That's where we went. Portillo's and Illuminati's. Yes. How did you know, Spidey? Smart guy. Yeah, Portillo's is where we had the Chicago dog, and Illuminati's is where we had the second deep pan pizza. I liked it. They were both good, but in my opinion, the first place we went to was called Giordano's, and that was over by Northwestern University. In my opinion, that pizza was better than Illuminati's. Sam preferred Giordano's. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, you used to live in Chicago, so I guess Illuminati's is more famous than I thought they were. But I guess there's more than one location for both of those, Portillo's and Illuminati's restaurants. I think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, for those of you who live in Chicago or who have lived in Chicago. I know that there's more than one Portillo's, because we were looking for the closest location of a Portillo's when we were downtown Chicago, and so we ended up going to the Portillo's in downtown Chicago. We took a bus there. It was a little bit confusing trying to get there, but we did make it, and I got some good footage, so that'll make for a good video. We didn't try Geno's or Uno's while I was there. Okay. Not familiar with either one of those, but I know that both of those places where we had the deep pan pizza, it was really good. I enjoyed it. One thing I wanted to ask you guys for help with. Are y'all ready for a request? I am trying to develop a logo. I don't have a logo for my channel. I've got 2,100 subscribers now, over 2,100 subscribers, and still don't have a logo. So because I don't have a logo, I don't have a sticker. I would like to be able to develop a logo and also develop a sticker. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how I can get a logo. And if anybody has any ideas, I'm very interested in hearing your ideas. Spidey says, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. Yeah. So if any of you guys have any ideas on a logo, I am open, all ears. My son, Justin, has some artistic talent. Maybe he could draw me a logo or figure out a logo for me. But yeah, I need a logo. And I would be willing to maybe even consider a contest for whoever can provide the logo that I end up using. Spidey says he's worked with graphic designer who made made his graphical assets like his profile picture. So I am looking at your profile picture, and I just realized that it's a person's head with spidey eyes and a mask, but and then there's hair on the top. But when I was looking at it before, the reason I thought you might be a female is because it looked like a woman's head on top of a dress. The eyes looked like it was like a collar. So I couldn't see it real well. So that's why I wasn't sure if you were a man or a woman when you first got on here. So Dash says he always loves a challenge. So yep, if you're interested, Dash, and you have ideas, I would be more than willing to entertain them. I really do need a logo, and I'm not even sure where to begin with a logo. I don't have any graphic design history or abilities, so I will probably be relying on whoever has those kind of abilities that can help me out. Help me out. I'm still full from all that food I ate just a minute ago before this live stream started. So I think I've hit the gamut of all the stuff I wanted to talk about. Nobody seemed to really be too interested in the Jake Paul fight. So I guess I was probably the only one in here that watched that fight. Justin joined us a little bit late, and I don't think he's much of a fan of boxing, but or fighting. But that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. Oh, I wanted to comment on that too. The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. They asked Mike Tyson why he was biting on his gloves, and he said he has a biting fixation. And if you're familiar with Mike Tyson, you know he chewed Evander Holyfield's ear off. He bit the man's ear off in a fight, so he definitely has a biting fixation. Spidey says, I'm about to head off and do a gaming stream, but it's been nice to meet you at Retire Inspire. Spidey, I might join you on your gaming stream just to kind of get an idea of what you do. So I might go over there and check you out, okay? Thanks for subbing to me. I am almost at an hour, so I think I'm about to wrap it up myself here and close it out for the night. And by the way, Spidey, I do a live stream every Sunday night, and it used to be at 6:30, but I've moved it to 7:30 Central Standard Time. It's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I try to do a live stream every Sunday night at 7:30. It'll be at 7:30 Central Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So Dash says, have you seen the video where the guy who bets 100,000 on Mike flips out and smashes the TV? No, I haven't seen that. I need to check that out. Yes, I am on Central Time. So Spidey, what state are you located in? Just curious. I know you got to run, but if you want to put that on there, I'd be interested in knowing what state you're in. Just interested. CG, are you? I asked you earlier, but did you say you're in Pennsylvania? Oh, Spidey is in Houston, Texas, so he's not very far from my friend Dash in Dallas. And I have a friend in Houston, Texas, also. His name is Rodney Bookout. He's in Houston, Texas. I actually went to Houston, Texas in January, and I spent a day with my friend Rodney in Houston. We went to the Goodwills there in Houston, made a video about it. So go to that video and watch it, and you can see where I'm in Houston, Texas, shopping. And I also picked up a lot of good things there in Houston, Texas at the Goodwill there. they had a Ben's store, and that's actually the first time I ever went to a Ben's. Well, guys, looks like I have gone over an hour, just hit an hour and 10 seconds now. And I've really enjoyed this past hour. I appreciate you all joining me. CG, I will check out your review of my channel. Thank you for doing that. And I appreciate you bringing Spidey aboard. Hopefully Spidey can join us every week. That's the video where that lady bumped you. Oh, yeah. The one who found the PlayStation 4 bumped me. She found a PlayStation 4 console in the Goodwill bins. Yep. And CG Anime fan says, I avoid mentioning my state for privacy reasons. In the past, people manipulated me, so I tried it. Okay. Good night, everyone, and God bless. Well, good night, everybody, and God bless you all. Thank y'all for coming on tonight. I appreciate CG Anime Fan. I appreciate Dallas Flippin', Spidey, Justin, NX, and who else did I not mention yet? I haven't mentioned my good friend Badlands Bandit. I appreciate you, Badlands Bandit. You have been there for quite a while now, and you always comment on my videos, and I appreciate you. And I hope that I will see you all on next Sunday's video. I will be back 7:30 Central Standard Time. And I hope I can see you all next week. So take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.